Slider.
I'm Phil. I'm Nilden.
Big Slider.
I'm Raz.
I'm gonna bust his ass.
I'm Shane.
Slide jobs by the dozen out here.
I'm Brandon.
And he can kiss my dick.
Hello, this is Thomas.
Come here. Pisser.
I'm John.
Sit down the next straightaway for the final time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
This is Dirty Sliders Podcast. Let's feed them the right rear.
Hey, you dirty sliders. Welcome back, man. Guys, how y'all doing?
What's up, baby?
Good,
How you
good,
doing, sir?
good.
You done running away from a little wind?
Well, little wind. Holy shnikes, man.
I didn't feel
I'll tell
nothing
you
here.
this much. Hey, Neilden, the wind from Milton was faster than you ever were in a race car.
Ooh, facts. I mean, we need to change
Shots
that, but
fired
facts.
already.
I mean, I want to go 200 mile an hour. I don't care in what. I mean, I've been
Well,
that faster in a plane.
Well, I got to tell y'all, man, it's good to be back. I missed y'all last week.
Yeah, it's good to have.
You
full
were
crew.
missed too.
Well, almost full crew.
What do
So
we got
starting
this
off,
week?
starting it off on a sad note. Somebody we all know. He's pulled at least two of us out of a race car that I know of, probably more than that. Tom Henkel passed last night. He was the main head chief fire crew guy at Barona for a long time, and
Yeah.
Cajon Speedway before that. He liked being a grouchy old man, but secretly he was a pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
He's lost a long time battle with cancer. I'm not sure. Was it lung cancer?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know
I know
that
he-
the last time I saw him, he wasn't doing. He didn't look good.
Yeah, I mean, it was a years-long battle with cancer, and I know he's going through a lot of pain and stuff. So, in one respect, I'm glad he's no longer suffering, but just an icon at the track. Will be missed. I'm sure there will be some sort of ceremony for him in 2 weeks. Probably something get named after him, I would imagine. Had that kind of impact at Barona. So thoughts and prayers out to his family, to the fire crew, because he was like the glue that held them together.
Yeah. He was a good man.
Yeah. So we got a few things to cover, but one of the things that we're going to hit tonight, something we've been working on for a while, is we're going to decide who the greatest of all time on dirt is between us. We're going to argue about it or whatever. I've been teasing these guys with this for 3 weeks now. You can't choose Steve Kinser because that's it would be a short conversation. We'd all pick Steve Kinser. So basically, who's the best dirt track driver that's not Steve Kinser, 20-time World Outlaws champion and a bunch of other stuff. I made some of y'all mad. I know that because everybody kept trying to talk about it ahead of time. I'm like, no, let's save it for the show. So we'll be coming up on that a little bit later. I think that's going to be a fun conversation. Brandon, tell us about your race weekend.
Well, it started off pretty good. Actually, I want to shout out JT, John Tuttle, JT MF. He did the oil change, did a tune-up on the 2 weeks that we were off because I was not able to make it up there, but he did it. Started off winning the heat race, which I've been pretty good at this year, the heat race bandit, I guess. Started third behind our newest member here lately to our stable, the 38 of Joe Cott. He started on the pole. I started behind him in third. A couple laps in, he made a little mistake on the exit of 2. I was able to get around him. Drove out, I think at one time I had like a 2-second gap on the field until we got into lap traffic. I will say this, though. This is the first race in a long time that the race director didn't tell lapped cars that the leaders were coming. So we kind of had lapped cars on the bottom, in the middle, on the high side. They was just kind of swapping lanes. I know they're rookies, most of them, and they're not necessarily paying attention to the flag stand, but it made it a treacherous road to hoe there for a few laps. Battled with Edward Finger like normal. He got around us, and he won again. Jimmy V got around me there on the white flag lap. Good race with him. And then me and Joe Malone were pretty much pancaked door to door coming across the checkered flag. Picked up third, so good weekend overall for us. 19 cars checked in, and to finish top three's always good.
So is that a procedure change, or they're not telling the lappers that leaders are coming, or was it oversight or what?
No, so I even watched Mike Carlton's video from turn 2. He records every heat race, every main event, and he even says it in there because he wears a receiver. He's like, man, this is the first time that they haven't told the lappers that the leaders were there, because it was, like I said, it was pretty treacherous. They'd be on the middle of the track, then they'd go to the bottom. Next corner, they'd go to the high side. They were just kind of all over, so it's kind of hard to work through it. I mean, we made it through there, but finishing third when I had a 2-second lead kind of sucks.
Hey, Brandon, in the driver's meeting, are they telling where to go? Because it used to be lappers go here, lappers go there. Are they not defining it anymore?
Well, they're not defining it, but this is the first
telling what to do.
This is the first race he didn't tell the lappers to hold their line. He doesn't normally tell them to go high or low. He just says, the leaders are there, hold your line. This race, he didn't say.
Well, that should be covered in.
Radio.
That should be covered in the driver's meeting. Lap traffic go to the bottom, lap traffic go to the top, whatever. That way you know where they should be. Not guessing, hey, hold your line. Well, what line? I mean, we have one driver in the dwarfs where their line was the bottom to the top of the track.
Well, so, I mean, at least giving them a heads up that the leaders are there. Every race this season, he would usually say, hey, the leaders are there. It doesn't matter what they're going to do at that point, as long as they maintain their little... Most of the time when he was talking to them, they just let off the throttle most of the time and just stayed where they were at, either really low or really high. And this was the first race all season, like I said, that he didn't say anything. Which I can't hate because it's not necessarily a rule that they're supposed to do it. The flagman did throw the layover flag out there. It's just how often is a guy that's not necessarily understanding the race car looking up at the flag stand.
Well, that's also part of the reason you need to tell them what to do. Give them one less decision for them to try to make.
And see, I disagree with that. I think the receiver should be...
They never called leaders on lap traffic.
Yeah, I think the receiver should be an emergency communication only. You don't... I used to argue that you don't say green, green, green when the green's coming out. You're not a spotter. You're a track official giving safety messages, and I don't think they should tell the lappers.
He doesn't say that
they used
anymore.
to. They did used to. Yeah. I disagree with that, and I think don't tell the lappers. It's up to you, the fast car, to get around them, and if you're that much faster, you will get around them.
I mean, we worked our way through it. I'm just stating that this was the first time in all season that he didn't at least give the lappers a heads up, because like I said, when the lapper's in the middle of the track and the leader gets underneath them and they chop the nose off, it's like, bruh, I'm the leader. Because I don't think necessarily that they're paying attention to the layover flag when they're in traffic.
Should there be some kind of penalty for lappers getting in the way of the leaders? I mean, it's not just at Barona. I mean, there's how many other tracks this weekend that people lost the lead because of lappers being in the way?
I mean, that's just part of the racing.
Shaking your head, Soper. Say your piece.
Yeah. Nope.
Say your piece, Soper.
Nope. Okay, so I feel like whenever you're racing and you have somebody constantly telling you what's going on in your ear, you lose focus of everything else. Like, I'm not going to look up at the flag stand. If there's a caution flag, he's going to tell me. If there's the leaders coming, he's going to tell me. So they don't pay attention to what they should actually be paying attention to, which is the flag stand. He's going to tell you when you're halfway, when you got 5 to go, 2 to go, if there's leaders coming. So not having that communication piece over the receiver, I like, because that is going to force people to pay attention to the flagger and the flag stand and the track lights. And then it's up to the leader and whoever else is coming up on the lap cars to get around them. You are faster. Change your line and get around them.
Yeah, which we did. I was just saying, maybe defining the layover flag means hold your line and not, race the leader. It's kind of just, hey, if you're running the bottom, run the bottom. If you're running the high side, run the high side. But we made our way around there, and I'm happy to finish third. So I'm not arguing that. I had more than a good weekend. A heat race win in the top 3 out of 19 cars. I'm excited about that.
Hey, did you pass tech with those shocks?
I did pass tech, and I ran a compression check, and I passed compression too. Bam!
Nice.
I feel like maybe they were giving you guys a chance to beat Edward. Maybe if the Laffer car got in front of him and you guys could use him as a pick, somebody else would win. Not that Ed's not a excellent race car driver with a badass car. maybe they just wanted to see if somebody else could get it.
I think I might have had a better shot, though, had they just not went all over the place. Because that one, the 28 car coming out of turn 4, he was in the middle of the track and I was underneath him, and he, like, overcorrected back and he started coming down the hill. And I was like, oh, I thought we was going to get cleaned out.
All right, so your season is effectively over at Barona. You got one more race left. Championships are decided, rookie of the years are decided, all that stuff. Why don't you give us a rundown on that, John?
So, yeah, most of that stuff is all decided. There's a few that are still up in the air as far as Barona. So, a couple of things shout out. I'm going to start all the way down at the kids because we got a tight race in the Sportsman Mini Dwarf coming into the last race of the season between Finley Willingham and Hunter McAllister. 1 point separates those two. So could go either way at the end of the season here in their last race. And also in that class, a huge shout out to little Brooklyn Fletcher. Got her first main event win on Saturday.
Nice.
We all remember her getting out there, starting in the Bumblebee class and getting her mini dwarf. But yeah, awesome. She was so excited, and I have never heard the crowd go more crazy for a little Sportsman mini dwarf race. They were all over it. Masters mini dwarf, we got Grace Escalante from Yuma. She's got a huge lead, 54 points. That's decided already. Junior sprints, Nathan Manalo has got a 10-point lead, so he's pretty comfortable to be the track champion in that class. Let's move on here. Sport mods, Soper's new class. Jake Triska has taken that. He is officially the track champion at Barona with Ryan Trim, who we talked about earlier, being the rookie of the year in that class for Barona. So that's awesome.
Good job, boys.
Yeah, interesting things in the modifieds out here. Matt Hicks, runaway winner for the track championship again. Interesting coming into the last race, the Altigs, Keith and Joe, are tied for second place. Dead heat for second place. So whoever finishes ahead of the other one gets that for the modifieds. Dwarf class, Tristan Peters. He's going to take that one. 13-point lead right now. So unless he has a really bad night, that's going to be him. Let's see. We got IMCA stock cars. Gary Rodriguez took that for the track championship with Raymond Schott being our rookie of the year.
Shout out to Gary Rodriguez. His brand new car was pretty badass.
Brand new.
Speaking of that car, didn't he wad that thing up in a practice session and have to get it ready again?
No, so that's a brand new one. The one he brought out this last race was brand new, all parts brand new, car brand new, never been driven before, brand new.
Just rolled off.
I thought he took his brand new car out there for practice one night, and he just wanted one more lap session in the practice car, and he got into the wall and kind of tore it up.
No, he's got.
It's always that one more time that gets you.
That other car he's been racing all season was also brand new to start the season, so I think that's the one you were talking about. This one he brought out because he's going to take it to Vegas next month.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, good for him. It was a good-looking car.
Yeah, and it was a good race for those guys. It was, he and PJ Dyke were battling it out for that whole main event. For our hobby stocks, Thomas Daffern, he's going to take that for track championship. Pony stocks, Lucas Vanderstay, he's got that wrapped up because their season's over for us. But the old Muffin Man, Ray Klemus, only 4 points behind in second.
Ooh, come on, Ray.
Had a good.
Ooh, come on, Ray.
Ray had a good season in the pony stocks. He was right there. Now to the class we all really care about, the pure stocks.
All right,
Jimmy Villa, he's Hey, fuck you, Soper. Jimmy V has got a 5-point lead going into the last race of the season. Well, he just forgets where he came from. Jimmy V has got a 5-point lead.
Started
over
at the bottom, now we're here.
So that could go either way here coming in the last race. It's going to be hard fought. I know that. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun race. The more important points battle in the pure stocks is that one Mr. John Bridger has a 28-point lead over Mr. Brandon Jacina at this point.
Go, John. Go, Jacina.
Go, John. Come on, John.
One of us missed the race that Bridger didn't miss.
This is where Brandon comes on and tells you how he didn't race because he had to announce.
But didn't Bridger miss a couple races because of his finger?
I took the same amount of races off when I cut my finger and had my surgery, so we're even race-wise. Otherwise, I wouldn't be giving him a hard time.
Could you dial up my race pass and talk about top 5 finishes for the season? Between the 32 and the 77?
Yeah, that's...
Hold on, my DNF count's way high, but the other count's high, too.
Right. So remember...
Averages, baby.
Consistency? Remember when you talked about Brad Sweet, you were in the championship with consistency? So you always finish. Always. That helps. Is finishing.
Which is something that Jacina has a problem with. Finishing.
Right.
Except the last 3 races.
And this is... Right. You've been doing awesome. And I'm not going to lie, when I heard you had to go to Tech in 3rd place, I was very excited for you last weekend. But when I started racing, everything was just finish all the laps. That's the biggest thing. And now I'm there. So now I got to move on and get further to the front.
Just win, baby. Buddy.
Let's go, baby.
So yeah, that about wraps up Barona. So a couple good races coming up this weekend, the 26th, or next weekend, the 26th, and trunk or treat for the kids, which is always fun.
So
super excited
last week we had Dirty Sliders Light because
we were all out.
Phil had the best excuse ever. He was evacuated. Neilden had a business meeting. Soper has 0 excuses.
Soper went
coaching
Black
your
Knight
kids'
on
soccer
us.
team is pretty damn important.
Okay. So anyway,
so is the 26th the last race?
Yes.
All right, I got to tell the wife, so maybe we can go. I have a pew-pew
Modified
class
sport
all
mods
day.
will be topless.
I put this down as a hurricane update from Phil, but let's do this. Soper, how about a soccer update?
Let's get it.
All right. So the boys are doing pretty good. They play Tier 3 club soccer. This past weekend, we played one of the top teams in our division, and we came out with the tie 2-2. So super pumped for the boys. They've kind of been having a bad bum year, but this was a big, even though it's a tie, it's a big W for the boys. They needed it. Feel good.
And this is for your sons.
For my sons, yep.
Awesome.
So, how about a business meeting update from Neilton?
This is down for 2024 over 2023. We still have a couple months to go. So I'm looking at making some deals, moving some product. Really hoping for to change, around the beginning of November. Hope it'll start picking back up again. So 2025 is going to be a good year. We're looking forward.
Yeah.
Are we really coming up
Get
on
those Christmas
almost 2
presents.
years in that truck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 2 months away from finishing 2 years. So, only 4 more to go on these loans.
Hey, man, congratulations, though. You're out there doing it.
Hey, I'm trying.
Absolutely.
I'm scraping through. I mean, I know some of my customers think, I ain't never seen a broke white man, but hi, I'm right here. I tell them all the time, I'll take your month of bills, you take my week, and I won't include the tool bill. Just the other ones. No one's taking me up on it. I don't get it.
Weird.
So, yeah, overall going good. I'll take it, Year number 2 is almost in the books, Keep moving forward, keep moving up, I haven't got any sponsorship packets for 25 yet, so that's good. I don't think anyone wants my money now.
Who's your tire every
thinking, what am I going to do?
Who's your tire every other race would be would go far away.
Hey. Be that on year 6.
Okay. All right.
The loans drop off. I might be able to afford more than one right rear year.
Okay.
All right, Florida man, tell us about Hurricane Milton.
That motherfucker was an asshole. He come through
Oh,
and kicked
Tampa.
no, hell no. He got it here in Daytona and Ormond Beach too.
Well, Daytona always gets screwed.
It was
Everyone.
bad.
That's why I love
it was
Cocoa Beach,
actually-
baby. Go Minute
It
Man.
was bad. It was bad here. Last week, it was kind of come through, and it was, they were talking it was going to be a pretty major hurricane, so we made the call to just go north. So we went north of Jacksonville, and we hunkered down there. Now, where we were, we got a little bit of wind and some rain, but down here, the park we were in flooded. They said they had 2.5 to 3 foot of water across the entire campground. Ground we were supposed to go to, which we are not at, is currently still underwater with no electricity and no running water. They said that Daytona took some damage. Daytona Speedway got some damage out of it. Down 95 here, about 80% of the billboards are gone. Roads all over the trees laid down across the roads everywhere out here. I mean, the winds, they said here at the campground here where we were, they had clocked within a mile of here winds at 110 miles an hour.
Damn.
Faster than you've been in a race car.
That not true. That is not true. I have been faster than that in a race car, dickhead.
Backwards?
That's from a hurricane that came from the west coast across. Normally, hurricanes normally drop down, but it jumped on the 4 and went straight across the 4. And the other thing they had here was tornadoes. Man, they had 25 confirmed tornado touchdowns in southern
I know some
Florida.
big ones too.
Yeah, and
There's
well,
a
they
couple
have one,
big tornadoes.
And this is just it's really horrible news. Is they had a tornado touchdown in southern Florida, and it hit a assisted care facility home, and a few of the residents did not make it through the tornado.
Well, that's no fun.
They were safe basically from the hurricane because they were never going to get hurricane force winds where they were, but they had these tornadoes touch down, and it was bad. It was bad. But hey, we're doing good. We punched out, man. The greatest thing about having your home on wheels, hook up and leave. We're out.
Roll out.
Yeah. So that's the update there. So that's your weather. That's your weather forecast from Florida. Please, I need to get a GoFundMe account because here in 10 days it's going to be really rough. We're going to be in the Keys for 2 weeks. So a GoFundMe.
Yeah, that bar bill gets rough down there.
Yeah, the GoFundMe account will be set up. Just anything can help. The drinks are $5 to $8. So I'm looking.
No, they used to be.
Phil, you're breaking up. You're breaking up, Phil. Can't hear you.
Right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Who's next? What else we got?
Dog sitter for that. You need a dog sitter while you guys are out.
Yes,
come on out.
Yes, Bridger. You need to fly in.
We have a short person's couch for you.
Be careful though. Be careful though. Heather's a little
before you open
quick.
the door.
Heather's a little quick.
I know that one.
Make yourself known prior to movement.
Make yourself.
Yes. I damn near found that one out firsthand.
And run in a zigzag pattern.
Quicker than
You
normal.
almost became religious real quick, Soper.
Right.
All right, so that brings us to our goat conversation. So came up with this idea, and I said nobody could pick Steve Kinser. I'm about to tell you why no one could pick Steve Kinser.
Because you did.
Nope. Dennis Steve Kinser, 20-time World Outlaw Champion, 12-time Knoxville National Champion, 690 plus wins in a sprint car. No one really knows how many wins he got, because in the early days of World Outlaw, if you won if it was a multi-day show and you won on a prelim night, that didn't count. And now they're counting those. So, like I said, no one really knows. Even Steve Kinzer says he doesn't know. On his 1987 World Outlaw, he had 46 feature wins. 12 of those were
You know who was pissed about that?
Sammy Swindell, probably.
Everyone else that showed up to the track.
Yeah. 12 in a row. 24 of his last 26 races that season he won. People were throwing rocks at that hauler when he pulled in, man.
Jeez. Well, he could have rolled up with an open trailer and still waxed everybody back then.
Yeah. 12-time Gold Cup winner, 7-time Kings Royal. Just the greatest of all time on dirt, for sure. So that's why no one was allowed to pick him. So, who wants to lead this off? Who you got?
Who gets the runner-up position?
Yeah.
I'll go.
All right.
I've got
Make
Will
your case.
Cagle. My
again?
driver that I'm putting up is Will Cagle. He's
Well, I like the Cagle part.
Northeast modified. He had, get this, 26 championships. He ran over 415 races. He was a Super Dirt Series modified champion from 74, 75, 76, 78, 79. 69, he was the Car Racing League champion, and he was the 66 Langhorne champion, to name a few. He ran the Syracuse Mile. I believe he had won that. I cannot confirm that. I've not been able to fully confirm that. He ran anywhere from Florida to Canada and all over the Northeast. Racing career was ended in 1985 because he had a career-ending leg injury where a drive shaft come loose inside the car and took out his leg.
Ooh.
That's who I think. I think he is up there, and had he was still winning in 1985 when he was born in 1938. So I think he's a good candidate for GOAT.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Brandon?
So,
Well,
Brandon. Go, Brandon.
Well, everybody knows me. I'm the IMCA guy. So I'll take Mike Nichols, 646 total wins. 600 of those were just in the IMCA stock car. He's got 12 IMCA stock car national championships, 42 track championships, plus, winning IMCA Super Nationals a handful of times. It's hard to beat. I mean, David Murray Jr. was the leader of all-time wins in IMCA, and then Mike Nichols took that over when he topped 600. So 600 wins in anything is a big feat. But let me tell you, when he started racing, he started turning laps in 1996. So from 1996 to 2024, he's got over 600 wins.
Not bad.
That's commendable.
Yeah.
John, what do you got?
Who's up next?
You.
So I got a newer guy. I got Brad Sweet. So let's see. He started his World of Outlaws career in 2003. Took the Rookie of the Year that year. As of the last count for World of Outlaw and High Limits, he's got 98 A feature wins, 6 in a row championships between World of Outlaws and High Limits this year. He's 10th on the overall all-time World of Outlaws wins list. Not as many high value races, I guess. He's got 2 Kings Royals, 1 Knoxville Nats, 1 Four Crown Nats in a midget, and 1 Four Crown Nats in a wingless sprint in 2008. So he's a newer guy, but he's got a lot of racing left ahead of him if he goes on to race as long as like Kinzer and Phil's choice. I forgot his name, but
Will
a lot of
Cagle.
years ahead of him. Will Cagle. That's how could I forget?
I just remember the last name. Someone walks up to the bar and says that, and she's cute. Hey, you know.
So you're
It's
not an introvert or an extrovert. You're a pervert.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the day I learned what it was called.
Okay. With that, give me your pick, sir.
I'm going to go with Smoke. The good old Tony Stewart. First championship in 87 with the WKA. He 3-time NASCAR Cup champion, 02, 05, 11, 5-time World of Outlaw owner champ, 94 USEC midget champ, 95 midget sprint and Silver Crown champion all in the same year, IndyCar champion, IROC champion. A man has a list of records in all kinds of motorsports. Out Eldora and keeps that place running like a clock. Still goes out there and plays whenever he wants. Now he's in a dragster driving. So is he the GOAT for dirt? No. Is he a GOAT for racing? Hell yeah. He's, in my personal opinion, he's the Mario Andretti of our generation. The man has drove everything and done everything he can. Yes, we have somebody else that's currently racing and kicking ass and everything else. But, you know, growing up, I think Smoke was definitely one of them. Man, you know, he was a huskier feller when he was racing. So it made the rest of us feel good that he could have a couple of little poundage on the left side and be okay. I mean, I'm sitting here, I've been reading the stats, and it just keeps going and going and going and going. I mean, it's pages and pages.
I'm going to deduct points from you because you left off one of his most important victories. He won the Chili Bowl in 2001, I think.
I haven't got there yet. Let me see.
He won the Chili Bowl twice, right?
He showed us his notes pages. They're about a book long.
Yeah. 2011, he won an Outlaws A feature at Oswego, and the next week won the Cup Pole at Charlotte. I mean, that's diversity.
Speaking of Chili Bowl, I'm proud to say that we just booked our Airbnb again for this year.
Nice.
Have you guys gotten your modifieds for the Dirty 30?
Shit, no. Did you hear what I said earlier about business?
Yeah, all I heard was want, I want to race. Want,
Pay me.
want. Yeah.
By the way, so your tab is empty? I can ship countrywide? What do you need?
Nada from you.
You sure? You sure? I call your wife. We talk Christmas presents.
No.
We'll put them on your card for you.
Damn it.
Keep in mind though, if you're looking for Christmas presents for me, I wear a size Keltec KSG.
2000.
No, they're only like
KSG 2000, correct?
Like just the Keltec KSG. The 2000 is a different model. Anyway, that'll probably get us kicked off YouTube.
Yeah, that's gonna.
Soper.
Only if we talk about what it is.
Yeah, Soper. Who you got?
I'll go ahead and I'll stick with the World of Outlaw stuff here in sprint cars. I like Donnie shots.
Well, you went.
Go ahead.
You picked Brad Sweet, right? Or was it
Bridger?
Bridger.
Oh.
Bridger.
All right, sorry.
Bridger did.
I got
Soper had
confused.
Kyle Larson, I thought.
I thought you were going to do Larson. That's why I didn't take him.
Nuh-uh.
I mean,
nope.
Is it because he's the easy pick and we all admit he's the best current driver?
I mean, it doesn't matter
active
what
driver
that guy gets in. Well, we've had conversations about him on here before.
Yeah.
But I like Donnie shots.
He's the best active.
I like Donnie shots
driver.
Yes, absolutely. He's got
he's won a couple championships.
Couple, and he's the front runner for that blue oval. I'm not a big blue oval fan, but I'll tell you what, those guys, good on them, doing something different and making it work. 2,226 career starts, 320 career wins. I'm trying to look at quick times right now. He's had 113 total quick times, 542 total heat wins, and he's a great guy. I've met the guy a couple times. He's very down to earth, very into it with people. From what my encounters with him. I like looking back at the old racers, but today, man, the competition is just so much more stiff because you can find guys way easier because of the interwebs. right? Social medias, YouTubes, whatever. You can find guys, and just the level of competition around the nation has gotten significantly stiffer. And I think that's
I don't
evident
think
with
it's
a
just
lot of
the
these.
fighting guys. It's fighting the data and what guys are doing already. The setup sheets, the note sharing.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of that too. You got a lot of these West Coast guys are starting to make it big now. I mean, it used to be out in the Midwest, Pennsylvania area was like a lot of your open wheel guys, right? But now California is looked at as one of the premier sprint car areas.
Breeding
You know,
grounds.
a lot of great guys coming out of California: Rico Abreu, Kyle Larson, Brad Sweet, Corey Day. List goes on, right? The Macedo brothers. Yeah, it's so. Also, Donnie Schatz is from North Dakota. I think that's cool. A real out of the way place. Yeah.
Lots of space to practice out there.
Tons.
Big old cornfield.
Yep. All right, Raz, you saved yourself for last, so.
Well, I had a list, and what I was going to do was let you guys go, and then whoever you hadn't picked off and go with whoever's left on my list that you guys didn't go with. But you almost didn't go with anybody that's on my list. So just to run it down.
You're old.
Yeah, you know what? I'm the oldest guy here, so there's something to be said because some of these guys are pretty old. Jonathan Davenport, Superman. He needs to be in this conversation. I think. AJ Foyt, maybe one of the baddest men to ever step into a race car, and they said he was a monster.
Oh yeah, I mean, I put him and Stewart together. I mean, they're about what a generation apart, though. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was Tony Stewart's hero for sure. So that's the reason why Tony ran 14 and everything else.
Yeah.
Ran a sprint car with a Cosworth IndyCar engine in it. I never saw or heard that thing run, but it had to sound like a banshee going around the track.
I'd like to put a Cosworth in something.
Steve Kinzer, obviously. Many shots was on my list. The Doug Wolfgang didn't go into anybody's conversation, and back in the day, wow, Wolfgang was a manimal. I don't really know why Sammy Swindell's not really on anybody's radar, including mine. I wouldn't really include him on this list, but there were in the years when he and Steve Kinzer, man, when they had their rivalry going, it was amazing, man. These guys, they hated each other's guts, and they didn't care if you knew it.
But I think he kind of got the short end of the stick like Mark Martin. I mean, Mark Martin was the Princess of the Bride all the time. Best driver to not have a championship.
David Pearson to Richard Petty. There might be something going there. So
somebody had to drive all these guys forward.
Yeah. Who I ended up going with was a guy named Jan Opperman. He was the original outlaw. This guy, he kind of set the mold for the World Outlaws. He would go and hunt big money races all over the country. He never really raced. Choctaw? Yeah, just go out and wherever the big money was, he would go and race it. He never really stuck with one series. He'd race anywhere. He won the Knoxville Nationals, won the Western World Nationals. In 1972, he won 44 of 90 races. 44 of 90.
50%.
That's 50%.
That's a bunch.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He also ran the Indy 500 9 times. He got 3 top 10s. His career was cut short because he had a gnarly flip and got a head injury out of it, and they said he was never the same after that. And then they think because of his diminished skills, he got killed in a later racing accident.
Well, I mean, so late 70s was what, leather helmets? Barely seatbelts.
Not quite, but yeah.
Much better. I mean, it was literally a football helmet then, yeah?
Yeah, but I think the guys that, some of you guys brought up some good points. I think Kyle Larson is set to do something where he could really hang up a number if he wanted to. You know what I mean? If let's say he decided to quit NASCAR and just race dirt full time, I think he could catch up to Kinzer.
God. I feel bad for everybody else.
Well, my deal with this conversation is we're all leaning towards World of Outlaw sprint cars, but there's so much other dirt series that just don't get
because that's the man's
nominations. I mean, like Dave Darland, for example, the People's Champ, USAC. He's the USAC king, right? Dave Darland.
Yeah.
And it's like he doesn't. Some of those guys don't get enough credit just simply because they're not World of Outlaws guys. But I mean, it all depends on what series you're running with, because some people do a career in one or multiple different dirt track series and they just never go to the World of Outlaw side. I mean, you brought up Superman. Obviously, Jonathan Davenport. I mean, Bloomer's got a little argument there too in the late model series. And the first original guy I told you about had 1,000 wins in a late model, right? So it's like there's plenty of people out there, just not World of Outlaw sprint car guys.
Well, and there's flashes of brilliance from all of them. There's two guys on the planet who've won the 4 Crown Nationals: Tony Stewart, Kyle Larson. And I don't know if you're familiar with that race, but it's 4 different cars on the same track on the same night. And Tony Stewart won all 4 races, and Kyle Larson won all 4 races.
And Kyle Larson was how old when he did it?
What's that?
Kyle Larson was how old when he did it?
Because he's young now.
16, 17, 18 years old?
No, he was early 20s, but so was Stewart. Stewart was young when he did it. But that's a midget, a non-wing sprint car, 360 sprint. No, I take it back. 410 non-wing sprint car, Silver Crown car, and a modified. You know, that's all in one night.
And all different driving techniques.
For what I understand about Stewart was he was not set to run a modified, and he won the other 3, and it was basically like, who's going to give up their ride? Because I'm getting in somebody's car.
Who's got room? I'll pay.
Yeah.
What seat do I fit in?
Was it a modified? I thought it was the 410 non-wings, 410 wing, Silver Crown and midget.
Nope. No, there's not a wing. There's not a wing on that night.
Okay.
So interesting
Either
conversation.
way, 4 different chassis and freaking impressive as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we can all agree Larson is the best all-around dirt driver of the current generation.
Yeah, I mean,
specialist. There's guys in late models that are going to have huge numbers, but you put the guy in freaking anything.
There's others too. I mean, there's Bloomquist, obviously. There was Earl Pearson Jr.
Ricky Thorpe Jr. will be thrown in the mix.
RTJ.
Yeah. I think he's still young in his career, though. He hasn't really hung up the numbers yet, but it looks like he will. And that guy can get in anything, too. What's the most recent thing he tried?
He won the stock car 100,000 a win.
Yeah, but then he got in a wing. Didn't he get in a wing sprint car here recently?
He did.
Was it a wing or non-wing? I thought it was at IRP on the smaller track. I thought it was a non-wing on the pavement track.
IRP's paid.
I thought he did the sprint car race on the West Coast somewhere, but it was wing sprint cars, 410, I think.
Yeah. Might have been Trophy Cup or Gold Cup. I'm not sure. Anyway.
I've been in a wing sprint car once.
Yeah, me too. Same
with
day.
A tractor motor.
Not at speed, yeah. No.
What was that speed? I had all the speed it'd give me with the tractor motor it had. I think it had to have 2 degrees of timing in it, maybe.
Yeah, I think they went and claimed somebody's demo derby motor for the one I had, and it had zoomies, so 8 individual exhaust pipes coming out. It sounded terrible.
Yeah, yours was worse than mine, for sure.
And the track conditions were dusty and more dust.
Deplorable. Cones, don't go below those cones where you might actually get some traction.
Yeah.
Ricky Thorpe did the 410 at Lernerville.
Hey, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'll do it again. I'll do it with all you assholes. I don't care.
All right, Thomas has some news about an Aussie from down under.
Yep. So James McFadden, first off, give it to him. The guy's a class act. He got put into a bad spot this last Saturday, and it was his last. So the announcement is James McFadden is not coming back next year to run full time, and he ran his last race in a full time ride on Saturday at Texas at the High Limit Championship, and he got just tossed up the track by Brad Sweet and put headfirst into the catch fence. And when he got out of the car, went over and talked to Brad, and he didn't get in his face. He didn't cuss at him, try to punch him or anything. He went and talked to Brad. And the deal was, as James opened up his entry, and Brad saw an opening and took it. And when James came down the track, Brad came up the track, and they got together, and it just shot James up and out of the ballpark, basically. But he had a conversation with them, and then he went down and talked to, I think the guy's name is Sam Laporta. He's the infield reporter for High Limit, and it was just like, hey, I went and talked to him. This is what happens. A racing deal kind of sucks. And then he kind of hinted, he's like, I don't really know if this is how I want to end my time. And then he walked away. Well, come Sunday, High Limit did their banquet, and he made the official announcement that he's not coming back. He did say, though, that he would probably come back to give Brad Sweet a couple of tosses, because he got tossed a couple times by Brad. He did. There was 18 full-time drivers there, and he said 16 of you guys figured out how to get around me. Brad never did. So that was funny. It was a very heartfelt speech. He thanked everybody for everything. He said, this is probably the best year that I've had in a sprint car was with High Limit. He was very thankful for everybody because they gave his boy Maverick the time of day to talk to him and high-five him and all that stuff. And, of course, Aussies give everybody nicknames, so he's calling Maverick Mavo the whole time. And then to top it all off in the end, his crew chief and a guy they call Woody all came up on stage and did a shoey. And if you're not familiar with what a shoey is, that's where he takes his race shoe off after a win, fills it with beer, and then chugs it. And all three of them did a shoey on stage before he left. Yeah. But it sounds like he wants to stay back in Australia and spend the time with the family, not just the ones, his wife and his kid, but everybody else back in Australia. He is going to be participating, it sounds like, and with the High Limit guys down in Australia this winter. He said he wants to be a big part of that and help to make it a big success in any way that he can. And I don't necessarily think that we've seen the very last of James McFadden in the States. I think he would come back to run a one-off, maybe like a Knoxville or a Kings Royal or something. But, yeah, I've known James McFadden for quite a long time. I'm a big Casey Kane fan, and so when Casey Kane started up his dirt team, there was Sammy Swindell, James McFadden. Casey ran a couple, and now, of course, he's running full-time. Brad Sweet's in there winning championships. So, yeah, I've known about James McFadden for quite a while, and it's sad to see him go, but it sounds like he's got his head right, and he's okay with the decision, and he's going to go live his best life.
Yeah, from right here,
I can't blame the guy wanting to go home.
Ride. From right here, he landed a top-notch ride in Australia.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, he spent the last 12 years up here in the States racing. So,
I mean, I'd want to go home after a few years. If I went over to Europe or somewhere. Yeah, I'd have a good time for a while, but I'd want to come home.
Yeah. I think ultimately what it was coming down to was if James was going to make the decision to fully move to the U.S. and stay here, or continue the work visas every.
It wasn't 1 year they wouldn't let him in because of COVID.
Yeah, yep. A lot of the Aussies got stuck down there and couldn't make it up.
All right, Neil. Then tell us about Darren Pittman's night in Texas.
I didn't follow it.
Okay.
All right,
all right.
Thomas.
That was Thomas.
Recording.
She's off, but 5 minutes. Yeah. Let me do some Googling.
Okay. So once again, I was a big Casey Kane fan. Of course, Darren Pittman raced for Casey Kane for quite a while, so getting to see him back on the track was really cool. He hasn't won a national touring race since Oklahoma, and I believe they said 2019. So been 5 years. Came back, ran the number 6K. Car was super, super fast. I mean, he ran great in the heat races, and he led a bunch of laps Friday, and he led a bunch of laps on Saturday. But unfortunately, on both nights, lap traffic got in the way, and he he kind of was trying to tiptoe around lap traffic, and he just got past. I mean, it was Friday night. Brad Sweet won, and I'll talk more about the Brad Sweet victory in a second. But I forget who won Saturday, man. I was too busy watching Darren, and true to a real racer, Darren got out of the car on Friday and was like, yeah, that was awesome. It was great to be back running with these guys. Top-notch class. Ran second. Super happy and excited. And then Saturday it happens again. He gets out of the car. He's pissed off. He's like, man, I did it to myself. I hate it for these guys. I hate it for this organization. We should have won this race. So it was same result, but two totally opposite and different reactions. And that's to be expected with a guy of that high caliber. He's like, okay, we got something on Friday. And then, of course, Saturday, he's like, all right, this is the night. And it doesn't work out for him. Feel bad for him, but it was great to see him out there in the car. Doesn't seem like he's lost a step. That car was definitely set up and ready to go.
Before we get to the next one, I just want to point out Trophy Cup's coming up this weekend in Hanford. Am I right? No, Tulare.
Tulare.
Yeah, Tulare.
Yeah, C3 entries so far.
Nice.
That'd be a good show.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, speaking of upcoming shows, I'll toss this out there for you, Raz. The USAC CRA guys are going to be at Imperial Valley in El Centro, California, and that will be televised on FlowVision. So I know there's a lot of local guys here in Barona that watch this podcast, and you probably know quite a few of these USAC CRA guys. That is going to be live on Flow Racing.
And there's a rumor that there's going to be one Shane Sexton out there racing.
Who?
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
So here's the deal. That white helmet that Brandon's got sitting there next to him, we've officially dubbed that the Shane Sexton stand-in. Until he shows up, there's going to be a helmet sitting down here. It's going to be the Shane Sexton.
Get passed around every week?
He can be.
That's what we were talking about.
Absolutely.
Every race, there's got to be a helmet on somebody else's podcast. Except
Hey, I'm
Phil,
down
we're
with
to
it.
get him a bobblehead.
Yeah.
So there was Super Dave Osborne, so now we have Super Shane Sexton.
Yeah. Yep. So. But yeah. What's next?
The Jackson 100 with RTJ.
Okay. Well, keep this running. So I'm gonna go back and look at my stats while I'm talking to you guys on this one. The Friday night show was a memorial race. And that's what I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting who it was that the memorial race was for. But ultimately, Mikey Marler was a really good friend of the guy who's the memorial race was for on Saturday, which was the prelim to the Jackson 100. And Bobby Pierce led the first, I think it was a 30-lap feature, and he led the first 18, 20 laps of it or whatever, and then he got into lap traffic, and the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. gets around him and comes away with the win. Now, I know that Ricky's won with Kohler Motorsports, but he hasn't won a national touring race with Kohler Motorsports until Friday night. That effectively put him, I believe, 20 points to the good for their national championship in Lucas Oil over, who is it? It's Jonathan Davenport, Ricky Thornton, Wagner, and I forget who the fourth one is.
McCready?
I think it was Tim McCready. I'm looking at the points right now here. Devin Moran and Tim McCready. I'm sorry. So Ricky Thornton, Davenport, Moran, and McCready. So he gets the points lead off of Friday night. Saturday night, the Jackson 100 comes up, and it goes back and forth between Mikey Marler and Bobby Pierce. And this is the 100-lap feature. They're going around. Mikey Marler and Bobby Pierce traded the lead a couple of times, but between the two of them, they ended up leading all 100 laps. Ricky Thornton does come in to lead, finished second on Saturday night, and Mikey Marler did win the 100-lap feature. So I think the crowd just about burned the bar down that night because that was a very, very popular win there at that track for that race. Super cool to see. That puts Ricky Thornton 50 points to the good over Davenport and Moran, which are tied at 50 back from Ricky. And then you've got Tim McCready, who's 165 back from there. that's coming into this weekend at Eldora for the national championship for the Lucas Oil Late Model Series. So that should be a good one. Ricky Thornton historically is kind of all right, not really good, but Jonathan Davenport is lights out at Eldora, and he does it in a 2020 Longhorn chassis car.
There's a no-shitter there, bud.
Mm-hmm.
So
that should be really good. So that should be really good to see that. Yeah, I mean, it was a fairly clean race. There was old Turbo Tyler Erb kind of made it a little dicey there. He had I think I sent it to you guys in the group chat. I can pull it up for our slider of the week, but I think we'll talk about it when I pull it up. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, it was good races this weekend between the High Limit boys and the Lucas Oil Series.
Well, why don't you pull it up while John Bridger tells everybody where they can find us on the socials?
Okay.
So we got Dirty Sliders on Facebook. Go like and follow that page, please. Dirty Sliders _sliders, sorry, on Instagram, and at dirty.sliders on X. That's where you're going to find us all. And of course, our YouTube channel. So like, subscribe, listen, and we're on Spotify, both video and audio on Spotify. We got us everywhere. Please just like and subscribe. Like us, don't like us, just listen.
Share us with your friends.
Share with your friends, right? Share with your neighbor, your enemy, your mother-in-law, whoever you
Share
want
with
to
your
share
wife
us
if you
with.
dare.
Hey,
With
speaking
your
of
wife, not share your wife, everybody.
speaking of enemies, I got to throw this part out there. 121V of Jimmy Villa. We had a bunch of discussions about this man to start the season. 2 races in a row now. He's come and had a pre-race conversation, and we owe that man a little bit more credit than what we were giving him.
You got a mouse in your pocket?
We kind of got on the same page a little bit when it comes to how things have been operating. So just a shout out to, one Jimmy Villa.
Jimmy was always a good dude when we raced him in the dwarfs, so
Absolutely.
I'll take it where it is. Here's a little dirty air for you guys. We all know who Haley Deegan is, and she just kind of disappeared after her last what is it? Xfinity race.
Fired.
Xfinity.
Yeah.
Got
Well,
fired.
she has a new ride with no fenders. This is gonna be entertaining.
Right.
She's in IndyCar, guys, for 2025 with HMD Motorsports piloting the number 38. So this is gonna be entertaining.
Is this the
So
next
wait,
Danica
full-fledged
Patrick at
IndyCar?
NASCAR, or what?
Yes, full, not a feeder class. NXT debut the HMD Motorsports piloting the number 38 in 2025. I thought the same thing. Is it a feeder? No, it's on Indy's channel.
So is she gonna have Danica Patrick as a driving coach?
Gonna do much worse.
My thoughts exactly.
I guess I'll keep my thoughts to myself.
Okay. What else we got?
Soper's got a dirty slider.
Unless NXT is a feeder class, but in Jedi IndyCar and Indy NXT. So, either way, it's an open wheel on a national series, which she's never raced open wheel in her life.
Well,
So,
she's raced
it'll be
bridge.
A little different. They go left only.
Yeah, but they're open wheel.
Yeah. So, gonna be interesting. We'll see what it is.
Thomas,
Either
you
way,
got that slider ready?
Maybe I'll have tickets again this year.
Yep, I do. We'll go to this Jackson 100. Okay.
Or maybe this is a feeder class. I'm not sure.
You boys ready?
Send it.
Uh-oh, there goes my light. I'm a little darker. Okay.
Everybody but Neildon's ready.
I'm watching.
Okay.
I'm multitasking. I'm trying to figure out if it's a real class or not.
Oh, it is. Share. Why? Why won't you share? Try one more
Technology
time.
is not our friend.
Screen.
We are not experts.
We don't even pretend to be.
That'll do. I'll do that one. All right. You boys got it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton, the 7T of Troutman, the 1 of Turbo Tyler Urban, the 157 of Marlar in the first 2 rows. That's who you need to be paying attention to.
Ooh, high side hustle.
Oh, damn.
We'll watch it one more time here. One more time.
I would give him the first one, but damn it, man.
Well, I mean, how I
All right.
can't call it dirty. There's no way in hell he knew that 157 was up there. I think he was just
I
friends
don't
everyone
think.
else.
To be fair, that
So,
first one sent him up the track into the second one.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think when Turbo came through the bottom and hit his tail caught the nose of Troutman, that shot him up the track into Mikey Marlar. Granted, he ran
Okay.
Mikey Marlar off the track, but
His tail didn't catch the nose. It was a dirty slider twofer.
Maybe. It was an unsuccessful dirty slider. Well, I mean, successful. He was in front.
Twofer.
Two for slider?
Not often you get 2 cars in one slider.
he did. He got
Phil,
2.
how'd you
Definitely
open
for
the
the price
show?
of 1.
What was your opening line,
You
Phil?
keep saying double slider. I'm going to the store.
Feed him the right rear.
Well, he fed him the right
Right
rear,
in the corner
bud.
panel for sure.
Yeah.
He fed
And Raz, what's
2
your
people
opening
the right
line?
rear.
Don't let a
In 2
slider get your
corners.
ass kicked.
So he fed him the right rear to 2 guys, and he might get his ass kicked twice. Well, we
Well,
know
and
there's 2 guys that
let's
said
not-
it was a dirty slider.
Let's not forget the Turbo, I think, was featured on here for a dirty slider a few weeks back in a Roll to Outlaws race that me and Brandon watched.
Yeah, I put him on the list of dirty sliders there.
All right, well, I think that's enough damage for one night.
Yeah. Soper's light's not working anymore. We can't see him.
Yeah, it done shut off on me. I'm sorry, boys.
You just
I can
downgraded
share you
our
the
chief.
video. You want me to share you guys the video of James McFadden getting tossed by Brad Sweet?
Yes.
Sure,
if you have
bring
it
that
ready.
Okay.
Because actually, the whole
I got it
last
ready.
one showed good for whatever reason. It wasn't jumpy or anything.
Okay. Screen, window, Facebook.
Sure.
Here we go. You got it? Let me know.
Got it.
Send it.
Yeah.
Okay. This was Friday night. No, this was Saturday night. Sorry.
And I can actually see it. Ooh. Oh.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn it, man.
Damn it.
And you guys can see what I mean by James said he
Ooh.
opened up his entry and Brad saw a hole and tried to take it, and the hole
Yeah, he
closed.
was trying to diamond it off early, and Brad went taken.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I
Yeah.
can see where there might be a little bit of
Thanks for coming to play.
ill feelings on that.
You can't.
Well, and
park
that's the
there,
second
Ugh.
time it happened.
You know, when you're 4'9" like Brad Sweet is, you might not want to throw those moves on guys.
Yeah, but he's just planning on
True.
kicking him in the shin.
Yeah, or head butt him in the nuts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Hey,
bad mental image.
Before we close it out for the night, Soper, how many people asked you about the microwave?
Jesus. Dude, I don't know. 10, 12, 14 people? I had text messages. I had Facebook questions. Thank God I didn't go to the track on Saturday. Damn it.
So remember, on
Hey,
the
does
20s,
Neil, then stop. I don't like this joke, man. I've told you guys.
Does this mean Thomas's nickname is it's Thomas the Microwave Soper?
Soper.
There it is. Thomas.
I'll
the
let
Microwave
dude
Soper.
know.
No.
Oh yeah.
I know what I'm doing for trunk or treat now.
Bringing a
I was
microwave.
trying to find something good, and now I know.
Somebody's going to the thrift store.
If the Lord
exactly.
blesses me and I get myself in a place to where I get interviewed on like IMCA TV, like at Winter Nats, or frickin' I end up going to one of these XR races like at Vegas or whatever, and the frickin' announcers are like, "Why are you called the Microwave?" I'm gonna look at them and be like, "No, no,
Then you.
I'll bring
not
you.
going there.
I'll bring you a Barbie doll microwave and a little baby doll for trick or treat night.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta
welcome.
super glue one of those to his roll cage. Super glue a little microwave to his roll cage.
So
I'll
Thomas,
find a sticker of a microwave and slap it on his car somewhere where he's not paying attention.
Hell yeah!
So Thomas,
Like when he's
real talk.
when he's
Why
in
is
staging.
your nickname Microwave?
No, not going there. Not doing that. That will get us kicked off of YouTube for reals.
Your hair looks like you went through
You
the
know what?
microwave.
That's got him more spun
Yeah.
up than hot
All right.
water heater.
It does.
It's no.
Anybody at Barona on the 26th, come find Brandon and I will let you know why his name is the Microwave.
Or what he was doing
Oh,
while
I
the
just found the
microwave was
perfect
running.
sticker. I just
No.
found the perfect sticker for it.
No, damn it, Neilden.
Yes.
Please clean microwave.
Yeah.
No, no.
Neilden, buy that sticker,
Oh, it's already
Neilden.
in the cart, baby. It's already in the cart.
Damn it.
Size should I get?
Damn it, son.
It's the
Large.
biggest one they have. Oh, it's like 8. I think that'll work. We'll put it on the
That'll
tailgate.
work. That needs to go on a slip angle.
Yeah.
Go on the old
Oh, I'm
dashboard.
crying.
Oh,
Crying
my
on that one.
Thomas. Hey,
Yes.
Thomas, you're welcome.
Hey, we're all
Yeah.
going to
Thanks,
hell. You know
Raz.
that, right?
Ugh.
Yes,
That's why I'm driving the
yes.
bus.
Every one of you are. No, you're
We're
driving
all
the damn
famous.
RV.
The
You're
world
you're
famous
leading us.
Thomas the Microwave Soper.
I can
Oh,
see the
Soper, I
t-shirts
really
now.
hope you win on the 26th. Just so Dirt Dude will call you Thomas the Microwave Soper.
Jesus,
I'll
you're-
send.
Nope.
I'll reach out to old Dirt Dude. He wants to come on and be a talker on this show, so I'll
He's
reach
one of my
out to him
customers anyways, you know.
and see if we can add that to the old plethora of things to talk about. Old Thomas the Microwave
Oh,
Soper.
God. I'm
You
crying.
guys need to go to Dirt Dude.
Okay.
Dirt Dude
He
just
also-
announcing
he
him as
also
Thomas
might
the
be-
Microwave Soper.
Oh, yeah.
I
It's
am
happening.
saying this now, Dirt Dude. When you watch this, I will not answer the question. Okay?
It's okay. He will.
He also-
He'll turn red, but he will.
I feel like he's going to be listed that way on the in my race pass.
The
for
tech
this
card?
Next race.
Hey,
Yeah,
I have a
Microwave
connection
Soper.
to somebody that can dial up the name on the old MRP there for the sign-in
Yeah,
sheet.
that's weird. how
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me guess. Her name's Natasha.
I have no idea what
And
you're
this is what
talking
happens
about.
when you give us is on 2-day shipping.
No.
Well,
Damn it.
thanks for coming up for our last show.
Come up with a new term next week.
We got to make sure the headline says, catch the end to hear Thomas the Microwave Soper talk about the microwave.
No.
Tagline, Raz.
How tall is your dash? Is it about that big? About 4 inches? Yeah? Okay.
No, it's about a half an inch.
Yeah, we'll make it work. I'll put it on
Put it on
aluminum
both
and rivet it.
panels.
Damn it.
All right.
Okay, let's end this show.
Thank-
Good night.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks.
guys for coming, and it was a great time.
Apparently I'm going to the pits on Saturday.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for commenting. If you like the show, hit that like button. If you hate the show, hit that like button
Yeah.
twice.
Like button.
Like button. If you think
All
we're a
right,
bunch
thanks.
of da-da-da-da-da, tell us in the comments.
Subscribe and get the newest updates when we
Thunderheads.
upload. You'll get the updates if you subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe,
All
hit
right.
the buttons.
Thanks for another
And we
good
see
show, guys.
Soper calling the microwave.
Thomas Microwave signing out.
Signing out.
Later, guys.